live. Welcome to episode number 44 of the Good Point Bro podcast. My name is Cade, and this is my little bro Cam.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep, baby. We're going to get right into it today because we never get right into it, but today we're getting right into it. Let's start over. There's so much to talk about, but I know where Cam wants to start. I know where you guys want to start.
Patrick Mahomes is a go, baby.
Chiefs and Bengals, great game. Chiefs win by 3. Controversial ending, but go ahead.
Half of my prediction is already correct. If you remember, I predicted that Patrick Mahomes would beat the Bengals on one leg, which he did. Threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, a fumble loss, but that was just a whack play. Burrow, on the other hand, threw 2 picks.
Both of them were iffy, but
No,
one was definitely not his fault.
Okay, I'm just saying he threw 2 picks. And one of them,
but you gave Pat Mahomes the benefit of the doubt on the fumble. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he can't move.
Okay, my point is you were like, that was a weird, iffy fumble. And then all he did was catch the ball and just slip it out of his hand. But then Joe Burrow throws one and the receiver hits it up into the air, and then it's picked. And
also,
the one where he threw it short was,
Also, Patrick Mahomes did what he did with 0 run game. Like, absolutely 0 run game. They knew they were going to pass the whole time, and he still somehow got it done. And when he needed to use his legs on the last play, that's what he did. Took one for the team. And personally, I don't know if I like the call at the end of the game like that, but it definitely was a late hit for sure. Both of his feet were out of bounds. Definitely gave himself up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a dumb play. I don't really like deciding the game on that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the Bengals didn't have a run game either, but
they ran better than the Chiefs did.
Like, what do they have, 20 more yards at them?
Yeah, I want to see the rush yards.
I bet you it's
got to be at least 20, bro.
70 to 45.
That's a pretty 25 yards is a lot. It's not a crazy lot, but they definitely ran better than the Chiefs did, for sure. Not saying that the Chiefs.
Well, I think Joe Burrow was like 20 of them at least. So
yeah, he had a couple good runs. He had a couple like 12-yard runs for a first down.
Hit me with it, Boss Master.
You want the rushing?
Yeah.
All right, so we have. That can't be right.
Bro, just
No,
go to
rushing,
the tape.
rushing
Just
71 to 42, Cincinnati.
So 30. Yo, you're
I was
really
super
close, but
close.
about 30 yards.
Well, how many of that was
42
Joe Burrow?
rush yards is awful, bro.
How many did
Awful.
Joe Burrow have?
All right, give me one.
Pat Mahomes had 10 of them on that last
30.
run.
He had 30?
Yeah, he had
30.
4 for
So
30.
that ties it.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes had 10 of them
Yeah.
on that last run.
Pat Mahomes had what?
Mahomes
10.
had 8.
Yeah, it was all in that one
so
run, too.
there's an 8-yard difference. Because if
Oh.
you subtract the QBs.
Yeah,
So neither did the Bengals.
yeah.
I'm just saying, though, Mahomes did what
Here's
he did
my
with
thing.
no run game.
Yeah, I got
And he can't move in the
But
pocket.
I'm just saying Joe Burrow didn't either. But yeah, he could move for sure. A lot better than Patrick Mahomes. And he got outperformed by Patrick Mahomes for sure.
Half my prediction. Already right. Half the job showing up. I picked the 2 teams that are in the Super
And
Bowl.
I think Chris Jones played like the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he played. I mean,
I
even
think he
against
is.
the
I
banged
think he is
up
the defensive player of
Bengals.
the year.
Yeah. Well, no,
But-
more than Bosa.
Yeah, I saw a whole thing why, and I don't want to explain it all. But yeah.
Bosa
I
had
was
more sacks,
convinced.
though, right?
18 and a half. Great
Yeah, that's
season.
unreal.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think Bosa.
yeah, I think if you just look at generic stats like that, it definitely looks like him. But I saw some advanced metrics that make it look like it's.
But usually, isn't the defensive player on the best defensive team as well?
I don't know.
So, like, I think it helps
But
him
why
that
would-
the 49ers defense is a historically good defense,
Yeah.
and he's part of that. I think, I don't know.
Yeah, I could. But here's my thing with the Bengals Chiefs game. I don't necessarily think the game was rigged. I don't think the refs, sold the game or anything. I think it was controversial, but most importantly, I think it just sucks to see a game end that way. Like, I don't know. Like, I left feeling like there was something missing. I wasn't like, oh, you know what, man? The Chiefs just won that one. They took that one away. It was just like, are they better? I don't even know if they're better. It didn't even feel like. So here was the good thing about the 4 teams left in the playoffs. Those were the best 4 teams in football. There wasn't an argument for another team. It felt like what was supposed to happen happened. This game didn't feel that way. Even if the Chiefs were supposed
That
to
felt
win.
like last year, though. It felt like the same thing because everybody's talking about how the Bills and Chiefs were the 2 best teams. We all agreed on that. and the Chiefs somehow lose in overtime after being up the whole game against the Bengals last year. So I feel like I personally and a lot of people felt like the Chiefs deserved to be in the Super Bowl last year too. So it's just a weird thing between these teams. I don't know. Which I just think that the Bengals just know how to, or these teams just know how to play each other more than any other team.
I think that's what happened against the Bills. I think the Bengals have the Bills number. I don't think there's that big of a gap
between Bills and Chiefs.
No,
Bengals. Bills and
when they smoked the Bills.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think they just know how to play the Bills very well. I don't think they're necessarily that much better.
And they know how to play the Chiefs really well too. I
think I think that their defense is underrated, not because of the players on their defense, but their scheme. Their defensive coordinator is great. And then apart from that, I really do think that their O-line I think they're missing 2 starters and out of an already trash O-line. So like it's going to be tough already. And Joe Burrow gets the ball so fast, it's a little bit deceiving that it's like, oh, he has time. Like he got that out without anybody.
They did get better as the game went on though.
They made adjustments and then it got gradually worse again. So I think what happened was the Chiefs had a plan for it initially. The Bengals adjusted their offensive line to fit that plan. Then the Chiefs changed their plan, and then it was bad for the Bengals at the end.
I agree with you that their scheme is fantastic, but if I'm like the owner of the Bengals, I am firing your special teams coach. How do you punt right in the middle of the field, a line drive to one of the best returners in football, and let him get 30 yards on that? That makes no sense to me. That guy should be gone. As soon as he got a 30-yard return, I'm like, game over.
Yeah, I did feel like that.
And, I mean, that guy needs to be sent to the shadow realm.
Also,
shout out your friend
I don't
Kyle.
know if you guys noticed, when that dude kicks that 45-yard field goal, it would have been good from 60.
Oh,
that thing was smoked.
I think he was literally like a walk-off home run.
Yeah, I think he was literally kicking it to where, like, he didn't want any controversy. Like, it would have been good from anywhere.
He kicked it in literally like a walk-off home run. He kicked it, walked off, didn't even like look at it. Like that was one of the most perfect end of the game kicks I've ever seen. Like that was amazing. But that was good from 58.
But if
that was a Justin Tucker special.
If he actually had to kick it from 55 or 60, he's like his mindset's different.
But
so
it's less pressure,
when he's going up, he's like, all right, like I need to be more precise. So by him going up there. And they're saying, oh, that would be good from 60. If he has to kick from 60,
the only reason
he might shank it way right
for
just
sure,
to try to get
the only reason
I
would dispute that is they were tied. It wasn't for the win. Like it was for the win, but there was no consequence.
Also, like I feel like the 40 to 50 range, you have a lot of pressure on you because it's still deep, but it's like you got to make those. If you're from 57, 58, like. There's not as much pressure on you because nobody's really expecting you to make it. It's just like, saying, if you get it, hallelujah. If you don't, let's go to OT. If you miss a 45-yarder, you're getting death threats by Chiefs fans.
Yeah,
so,
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think. Bro. Good point, bro.
I didn't disagree with you.
No, I just want to hear.
Good point, bro. Is supposed to be like I disagreed and you proved me wrong. I was saying the same thing. You see what I mean?
Are you going to give it to me?
We've never used...
Can you give it to me, Adam? I gave you one in your first show.
But that's because you guys disagreed and he proved you wrong, so you gave him a good point.
Whatever.
That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to, like, stir the pot here. I mean, I really need this job, so I just need to play by the rules and do what Lebron said.
Good point, bro, is like, you got me. But he didn't get me if we're saying the same thing.
All right, whatever.
You know what I mean?
We just have two different definitions.
It was just a good point.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Good point, sir.
Okay,
just a good
thank
point.
you. Thank
Way
you.
to add on to what I was also saying.
Okay.
That's all I mean. I don't think that Joe Burrow was outplayed in the fact that it was his fault.
No, but he still got outplayed after everybody was saying he was the best quarterback. Or not everybody, but a lot of people were saying he's the best quarterback. He's Batman. He just beats all these juggernauts, and he didn't outperform a dude on one leg. And you got to give the man his props.
He didn't outperform him until the last 4 drives.
Listen, the Bengals are a better team than the Chiefs. We all three said that before that game.
People like Colin Cowherd are getting so high on Patrick Mahomes right away. And when it comes down to it, the Bengals lost the game as much as Patrick Mahomes won the game. Like when you look at those last 4 drives, there's nothing impressive about him. His best highlight is that he ran to get the first down and then obviously was pushed.
I agree. But those 2 touchdowns he threw were amazing. The one down the middle was
that was not in the fourth quarter.
I'm just saying.
I agree he had good plays. My point is They were up 7. He had 4 straight drives to close the game, and he didn't do one, except for the first down run.
Go.
So, going off of what I was thinking about this earlier, but it's
Yeah.
a good segue. So, if you take Mahomes, you take the offensive line for Kansas City, or the defensive line for Kansas City, which one of those 3 parts were the most valuable to that team? Because the
Mahomes.
defensive line destroyed and took advantage of their weak offensive line on Cincinnati. Their offensive line stepped up and made sure that they didn't get any pressure, so Mahomes could just sit there and make those throws. Like you
That was
already
more
said,
scheme, I think.
it wasn't an outstanding game.
He did have 105 passer rating.
Okay,
I'm not
first
saying he was
of all,
bad.
the Chiefs were rushing 5 the whole game and blitzing. That was a scheme issue on the Bengals by only rushing 4 the whole game. They could have got pressure on Mahomes. That was just dumb by them. The Chiefs have had a top 5 pass rush.
I think they
the
did
whole,
get pressure on the Mahomes.
Yeah. So just not as much as the Chiefs got on the Bengals, but the Chiefs have been a top 5 pass rush in the NFL the whole year. So I don't want to just say it's only because the Bengals offensive line was trash that they got pressure on them. They rushed 5 and blitzed like the whole game, and they have a top 5 pass rush. So it's not just.
I would say
because-
Mahomes
it's
because I think if you took the Chiefs team how they are and you left that defensive line and you left that offensive line and you switched Patrick Mahomes out with anybody other than Joe Burrow, they don't win.
What if you have Patrick on the Bengals? You switch the quarterbacks, who wins? Definitely the Bengals.
I don't know because he's
Bro,
on one foot. And
We
the
all
offensive
3
line is
agree.
trash.
Hold on. That's a good point. Okay, fully
That-
healthy.
See, now we disagree. So that's
Fully
when you would say,
healthy.
"Good point, bro."
Fully healthy.
See what I'm saying?
Whatever. Fully healthy though.
Obviously,
I'm not-
you take Patrick Mahomes because he's the best
I still
QB. That's
think
not
it's
a good
more
argument.
scheme. I still think it's more scheme. So yeah, if
You
the
take
Chiefs
the
would've
better
got-
QB, and Patrick Mahomes is the best QB in the
Yeah.
world. So that's not a good argument. It'd be like saying like, who would you take, Jordan or Pippen? Like,
But we
yeah,
all-
Jordan's better.
We
but
all
that's not the
said,
argument.
hold on, both of y'all, all 3 of us were saying that the Bengals look like the best team in the NFL, and we all 3 said that they're a better collectively team than the Chiefs before the game.
I said I don't know, but yeah,
Bro,
I said
I said I don't know.
stop. No,
Probably.
we all said
I
that.
said
I said I don't know. Probably.
No.
I thought that the Bengals were going to beat the Chiefs if
And
they
you picked
played
them.
the
Why'd you
game.
pick the
If
Bengals
they
then?
played the game again
Thought they had a
tonight,
better quarterback.
No, I think the Eagles have a better team.
Hold on. No. You picked the Bengals. Why?
I didn't think they had a better QB.
No, you thought they had a better team
Right.
than collectively than the Chiefs. That's exactly what I just said.
No,
I just-
you said I thought they had the best team in the NFL.
Right.
I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL.
No, you didn't think that before. You thought
Bro,
that it was the Bengals.
I've said that probably for like 10 weeks.
No, I mean, everybody's been saying that. I'm just saying recently before this game, going into the championship weekend, we all 3 said the Bengals were the best team. Because when I
said
came
I
up,
don't
no,
know. Probably that's what I said.
when I came up here and said, you know what, I think the Bengals are the best team heading into the championship weekend, y'all are all like, yeah, now you're on the Bengals. Because y'all have been on the Bengals saying that they were the best team.
No, in the eight, bro. I've picked the Eagles for forever. Like I don't know
all
how
3 of us have, really. I think we all picked the Eagles. Oh, to win?
Yeah, he picked them at like early in the year, like week 2.
so I wasn't going to flip flop.
I said the Eagles would destroy the Giants, too. Just want to put that out there. They destroy everybody.
I picked the over on that game.
Because Jalen Hurts didn't even play well, and they smoked him. That was just an odd game.
That's like the great thing about the Eagles is he doesn't have to be Superman. Like when the Chiefs play the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to be Superman to win that game.
yeah.
Jalen Hurts is not gonna have to be Superman to win that game. Not only that, I do think that between the 2 teams, I do think that the Eagles will win the line of scrimmage. I think their offensive line is better than the defensive line of the Chiefs, and I think their defensive line is better than the offensive line of the Chiefs.
I don't know about offensive line. They had the number 1 pass protection all year, the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, the Eagles lead in like every defensive like pass.
Oh, no.
rush
I'm just
statistic.
saying offensive line. I don't know if you said that the Eagles have better offensive line than the Chiefs.
No, then the Chiefs' defensive line, who they're facing.
Oh.
I think their offensive line is better than the Chiefs' defensive line.
I mean,
And-
they're probably about equal.
No,
Because
dude.
they're both top 5.
I saw
One
a
is a
thing
top
today.
5 defensive,
No, I saw
bro.
a thing today saying they're the best offensive line ever.
Who?
The
The
Eagles?
Eagles?
Yeah, I don't think you understand how good their O-line is.
But I mean, the Chiefs were ranked number 1 in pass protection. I heard that this morning.
It's rushing.
No, it was
The Chi-
passing.
No, the Eagles in rushing.
No, I'm talking about the Chiefs. Oh, you're talking about
Oh my
rushing.
gosh.
Okay.
They're all-
I was
they're-
talking about the Chiefs. Then you just said something about the Eagles. I
Because-
didn't understand.
No, I do understand. I'm saying what I'm talking about is the Eagles. And I've never
Okay.
not been talking about the Eagles. And then you brought up the Chiefs, and then I kept going about the Eagles.
Okay.
Who cares? It doesn't matter, dude. Chill. It doesn't.
Okay.
I don't even know, bro. This stuff is so hard to find. But anyway, a lot of people are really, really high on the Eagles' offensive line. Really high on them. And they have a lot of Pro Bowlers. All over the field, they have a lot of Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, I mean,
the Eagles have 17 guys that are either a Pro Bowler or they're a reserve.
and we're live.
So sticking with the Eagles. Eagles, 49ers. A game that I picked the Eagles to win a close one in. Obviously, the Eagles did win, and I was right, but it wasn't anything but close. Which, I mean, did you watch much? You watched that whole game, didn't you? Or is that when you fell asleep?
No, I just fell asleep during halftime. That's it.
I mean, it would have put me to sleep, too.
I
Like,
mean,
dude,
it was Sunday nap. Tired.
Dude, it
that was
so
a good game
boring.
to sleep. They definitely left the best game for last, for sure. Which everybody
which
knew the
even that-
Chiefs and Bengals were going to be close. I mean,
Yeah.
every
Well,
single game they played has been decided
everybody thought
by
the same
3
thing about the
points.
Eagles, 49ers, really. This
Yeah.
postseason's been a little bit disappointing. I mean, there's been no overtime games in the whole postseason.
I'd say the best game this postseason was either between Chiefs Bengals or the Jacksonville comeback. That was pretty insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. Chiefs Bengals is probably the best
Bills
game.
Bengals was boring.
But even that one was like pretty defensive.
I was super excited for Bills Bengals in that.
Bills Miami was a better game than Bills Bengals.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, and the Bengals and Ravens too.
Which
That was pretty close.
Which I made this clip about Jalen Hurts and about the 49ers and the Eagles, and I said that the Eagles are going to win a close game. And to be honest, I'm not even an Eagles fan, so just as a fan of the NFL and of the sport, I felt like I was robbed of a close game. Like, just because the 49ers completely fell apart before our eyes. Like, it was I've never seen anything like that. Like, Brock Purdy goes down. They put a 4th-string QB in who goes down. Then Christian McCaffrey plays quarterback for a play. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, that was like such a odd game. Like,
Oh,
That-
Siri just Googled everything I just said.
Really?
Yeah.
that's weird. I mean, that game, I remember thinking after, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, that just made no sense. I thought the 49ers and Eagles were going to be the most tough, hard-nosed, just grind. I thought it was going to be like a 15-12 type game.
100%.
And, you know, it seemed like in the first half they kind of recalibrated after the Eagles scored. Their defense just kept stopping the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was going to be close. But then just the end of the half spiraled out of control. And once they were up 21-7, there was no way the 49ers with their offense and without Brock Purdy was going to come back.
Which, to speak on that defense, don't get it twisted. The Eagles' offense, although they were humanized against the 49ers, will not look like that against the Chiefs. I mean, they still scored, what was it, 31?
Yeah.
So they still scored 31 points. And the only reason that they did is probably because the 49ers defense had to be on the field for so long and so
the
much.
fumble.
And then a fumble in the red zone.
That
Or
was huge.
on the 40 or
basically.
whatever. But yeah, I think that offense was humanized by the 49ers, and they looked a lot worse than they actually are, which is what happens when you play a team that's probably has the best defense in the last 10 years. I mean,
Up there.
so I think that the Eagles' offense still looks pretty decent, and that they'll look even better against any other team in the entire NFL that they would play.
Yeah.
Not that they'll score as
Well-
much, but I think they'll overall look better.
Yeah. No, they definitely will. They're going to come super prepared. They have a great coach. Great organization, both teams. I do think that the Chiefs' experience and obviously having the better quarterback is going to be huge. I do think the Eagles are a better team, but I just think that the Chiefs' experience and them having Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to lose another Super
Which
Bowl
here-
right now.
Here's the part of the game I was impressed with. Here's what I was impressed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Is everybody came in and they said, the 49ers are amazing. It's the best we've ever seen. But their secondary isn't quite there. And Jalen Hurts is going to expose that. And what did? They ran all over him. So it didn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
They're going to run
They
over
impose
you.
their will, man.
They run
really
over
do.
you.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles run over you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
It seems like the Eagles can dictate whatever game they want, and they can win in so many different ways. They can win with Jalen Hurts going off. They can win with their weapons. They can win with their run game. They can win with their defense, their scoring defense. I mean, they can win in every single way, and that just makes them super dangerous. They dictate what type of game
Yeah, I
they're going to
agree.
play. It's just
Where are we at?
it's tough.
Oh my gosh, that was the longest 4 minutes.
Yeah,
ever.
what the crap? All right, we can go to NBA. 'Cause I got a couple.
I
things
wanna-
that you-
I want to touch on Aaron Rodgers first, and then we can.
I do like
Eagles
one-
open up as a 1.5 favorite over the Chiefs in Super Bowl.
No, you don't understand. Like
57.
the line moves from the open. It was like 24 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And it was all over the place. Like it went from Kansas City +2, and then it like went all the way to Kansas City -2, or it went from -2 to +2. So it like flipped like 5 points,
Completely, yeah.
like in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the over/under like went like screaming down. There was so much line movement on this in the first 20 minutes. It was ridiculous. So I mean, basically everyone's
No one knows.
nobody
Bro,
knows.
they have it messed up. They said Sunday, February 12th at 1 Eastern time. Super Bowl. Ain't no way it's gonna be at noon, right?
It's usually at night because
It's usually always at 5. Like always at 5. They changed it to noon, bro.
it's at 5:30 Central.
Yeah, so they messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It is February 12th.
Yeah.
Maybe coverage begins at
Okay,
1.
early pick. Who do y'all got in that game? Early. Obviously, we're gonna do it again.
Early pick. I just think the Eagles I think the roster the Eagles have put together is just too good, dude. I think they can win in many different ways. I think their defense is phenomenal. I don't think that they're necessarily going to just way outplay them and just look way better. I just think that offensively they're going to be able to do whatever they need to do to move the ball down the field, whether that's rushing, whether that's passing. I mean, Jalen Hurts is one of the most efficient passers, 20-plus yards on the field in the NFL, if not the most. And then you saw against the 49ers that they can run the ball all over the field if they need to. So for me, I think offensively they're going to score points. They're going to get the ball down the field. And then defensively, I think they're exactly what they need to be. I mean, anybody on the field can really do anything. I think that they'll come in with a game plan that, Patrick Mahomes is going to have to beat us. They're not going to be able to run the ball against us, and I don't think they're going to be able to, just like they weren't last week. And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to do crazy stuff, and he's going to move the ball down the field, and he's going to score. But I think it's just not going to be enough. I don't think one man can win in the Super Bowl. And if he can, then props to him. Great things. But as far as just making a good pick and just saying what I think will happen, I can't just put all my money on Patrick Mahomes and say, why do you think he's going to win this game? Because he's Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's the only thing you can say.
Well, that's what they said about Michael Jordan, and he won 6. But anyways,
No, they were the better team. Don't get that messed up. The Wolves were always the better team. That's a bad scenario.
Well then, okay.
Name the only guy you can say is
LeBron
against the
or whatever.
Warriors. And really, he had that number 2 Kyrie guy go crazy at the same time. So unless Patrick Mahomes does something like that,
that's the pass rush. They got to go crazy.
Yeah.
But another thing is,
but then they'll just run all over him.
I think that the Chiefs, my way too early prediction is that the Chiefs is going to win a close one. If you think about it, this Eagles team reminds me a lot of the 2015 Panthers. They just steamrolled the league, went 15-1, bullied everybody in the playoffs. They go to the Super Bowl. They're the favorite. Here comes the Broncos team. They got embarrassed last year in the Super Bowl. The last time the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, they got embarrassed by the Bucs. I like what you said yesterday, that they have to struggle more. Like, they have to go through it. They have to lose the Super Bowl. I think that they're going to get exposed a little bit in the Super Bowl, and that the Chiefs, with their experience and having the better quarterbacks, are going to win the game.
All right. Let's
Adam,
move
you got a
over-
prediction?
Oh, yeah. What's your way too early?
Way too early.
Roll with me,
Philadelphia by 14.
Oh, my gosh. He's only saying that because I've made him hate the Chiefs.
By 20. Make it 20.
No.
I made Adam hate the Chiefs.
Make it 20.
I made Adam hate the Chiefs.
He actually likes Patrick Mahomes.
I know,
Yeah.
but I
He
made him
does.
hate him.
But the Chiefs. There's only, I think, how many players on the Chiefs were on the Chiefs last time they went to the Super Bowl? I think there's only like a handful. So
Yeah,
that
Kelsey,
Last team, last
Mahomes.
time the Chiefs.
so I think if,
No receivers, basically.
right.
No,
So you have
no
Kelsey and
running
you have
backs.
Holmes, which don't take me. I'm not taking anything away from him. So it's almost like
Coach has experience.
true. So that is very good. So if you have the coach,
Can adjust better.
you have the quarterback and the tight end who's been there, done that, which was really weird. If you go back to totally off the subject, I was watching the post game stuff and they were talking to Kelsey, and they brought up Holmes, and like his demeanor was kind of weird. Like he didn't even want to like talk about him. And then Mahomes came up behind him. He was like, "This guy's clutch. This guy's clutch." And the whole situation, like interaction, made me feel weird. It was like there was some sort of tension in there between the two of them. Like Mahomes is only coming over because he felt like he needed to, not because he like wanted to celebrate with like a buddy.
Bro, you're tripping.
No, I'm dead serious.
Because at the end of the game, Travis Kelce went up to when they were interviewing Mahomes and was like patting him on the back, going crazy, saying, "This is Mahomes' house."
He did,
So I don't know
I'm
what
just
you're
saying
talking about,
what
bro.
what I saw.
and he was on his podcast.
What I saw was it was bizarre. It had a weird feeling when I saw it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, maybe I read too much into it. I had a lot of Chardonnay.
Amen.
Isn't that a girl's drink?
Boone's Farm is a girl's drink.
Boone's Farm?
Boone's
I don't
Farm.
know what that is.
Yeah.
We're at 10.
All right,
Cool.
you can go to the NBA.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Oh.
So, I've been one to preach it. You've been one to preach it. Everybody basically, Kyle Shanahan can't win with anybody. And I think that was disproven this weekend. His name is John Johnson. Can't win with that guy.
Well, hold on.
I mean, I don't know who can.
hold on. Kyle Shanahan.
Is that even his name?
The San Francisco 49ers are a better version of the Cowboys. They just get farther than the Cowboys, but they always disappoint. They're just a better version of them. That's what I'm coming to believe. Lost the Super Bowl, lost to the Rams
get
last year in the
way
NFC
farther.
Championship, then just lost in the NFC Championship this year. But if you don't win a Super Bowl, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the
You want to
day,
know the difference?
No.
You want to know the difference? What did people expect of the 49ers before the year?
them to be that win the NFC.
No.
100. Yes.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna roll back
did
tape.
it.
They thought they were gonna win the NFC. Everybody
No.
thought they had the best roster by far, and they were stacked to the brim. They didn't care. They didn't care who was quarterback. Everyone had 49ers winning the NFC. Bro, you're
They-
not
the
right
Cowboys
on
were the
this one.
favorite.
They
both were
fired.
huge heavy
They
favorites.
fired their offensive
That's why it was such a
coordinator.
big win when the Bears beat them in week 2 or whatever.
They fired their offensive coordinator.
The 49ers did.
No, I thought we were talking about Dallas.
The Eagles, the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Bucks, and then the 49ers.
Oh.
Were the betting odds before in July.
Yeah, but
So the Cowboys were one above them. The
Bucks.
Cowboys were favored to go to the freaking Super Bowl the whole year over the Eagles. They just do that because they're the freaking Cowboys, man.
They do it probably because money comes
Yeah.
in on them.
Yeah,
that's
it's ridiculous.
that's a smart bet on the
Yeah.
books because they know
Remember
that
the
they're
whole
not.
year ESPN was saying that the Cowboys were the favorite BPI betting favorite over the Eagles,
Yeah, they
like
did.
through like week 12.
They,
man.
they had a
It's
50% chance to make
yeah,
the Super Bowl
it's
in like week 14.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is. All right, we're gonna move over to the NBA. What are we at?
But did you hear what I said about the Cowboys
No.
firing their
No, what's
offensive
up?
coordinator?
Oh yeah, I did see
Yeah.
that. Kellen,
Wait, why'd they do that?
what's his name?
Don't
Kellen
know.
Moore.
Yeah, but
You think Dak's
the-
gone, man?
No, well, the head coach, I guess, was in the beginning of the year saying that he has to have him on the staff. Then he changes his mind and he fires him. And it
That's
looks
so
like
rough.
he's going to be making the play calls now
Mike
for the
McCarthy?
offense.
Mike McCarthy
Yeah.
fired him.
I thought he already was making the play
Kellen
calls.
Moore is like good.
This is just what I heard.
And you know what's even worse? Their defensive coordinator is gonna get a head coaching job.
And you know what's even worse? Nathaniel Hackett was hired as offensive coordinator after this year in the Broncos.
You know what's even worse is if
No, he was hired. Where
He was
he
hired as the Jets offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's great. That's,
For the
that's a good
Jets?
hire. Yeah,
Oh. Well, I don't know, man.
And then
the
the-
Broncos,
the
that was pretty
Jacksonville-
rough, man.
hired a good OC too.
Why is he a good OC, though?
What's his name?
The year he just
Burt
had with the
Reynolds?
Broncos was horrible.
As a head coach,
I mean, their
he's
offense
had
was the
crazy.
worst in the
He's
NFL.
had a lot of success on
Oh.
as an offensive coordinator. He's good at being able to just focus. Like I think it was just way too much for him.
All right. Well, before we move on to the
12.9
NBA,
points
does
a
anybody
game.
have anything they want to touch on with Aaron Rodgers?
What about him? Did something
I was
out
going to, but it's cool.
this morning?
No.
I mean,
Oh, well, I guess it just came out basically that the organization as a whole is ready to move on to Jordan Love.
yeah, 100%.
That's like the word around.
That's what we were
Jay,
saying
around
earlier.
Green
He's
Bay.
going to the
We were
Jets.
saying that they need to rebuild.
he
could
has
go
to.
to the
He
Jets.
Or
has to go to the
49ers.
Jets.
If you're the 49ers, do you trade for him or Brady?
Neither.
I get Rodgers over Brady right now. I think. I don't know. That's a tough
No, you
one.
don't understand. Rodgers has to go to the Jets because that's what Favre did. Then he has to finish his year on the Bears and
No,
take
on
him
the
to
Vikings.
the Super. Yeah, I know. No. I don't want to go. I want to go a different route. I want to go a route where the Bears. Actually, because it could end up on the Vikings. Because how
To
long are
be
they gonna
fair,
hold
The
on
Bears
to
will pick
Cousins?
Bryce Young
No,
and
listen.
everything will be okay.
To
Let's
be
hope so.
fair, if Aaron Rodgers played for the Bears, he would never lose. Think about how often he loses in Soldier Field. If he was the Bears QB, they would go undefeated at home.
Maybe. And then he'd be like, I still own you guys. I'm just for you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move over to the NBA. It's almost 2.
So- I can go ahead.
Are you? So you want to talk about Kyrie or no?
Yeah.
Like you just want to?
Yeah, I can.
All right, go for it.
So I've heard a lot on ESPN talking about if Kyrie should get a long-term contract. As you know, he's been balling the past couple of weeks while Kevin Durant's been out, been holding the ship down there in Brooklyn because I don't know. Oh, the ship. I said ship. I said ship. I did. Roll the tapes. But I was in the middle of.
I mean, I'm not.
Anyway. Okay.
But
Well,
the thing.
holding
the,
if
without
I'm the
KD.
Brooklyn Nets, I would not pay Kyrie a long-term deal yet. I think the only reason he's been playing like this and he's been not, causing controversy is because it's a contract year. He wants his money. I feel like if you just give him a long-term contract again, he's going to be old. He's already 31, and he might just sit out games because he's guaranteed $150 million.
They would definitely have some type of incentives in that
Got
contract.
to. But knowing the Brooklyn Nets, they wouldn't because they're stupid. They're a terrible organization, but yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild.
I mean, they weren't before they had
Maybe he'll
KD
go
and
to the
Kyrie. They were
Knicks.
building a culture, but that culture went down the drain. But it seems like Vince Vaughn, their new coach, he's building something good over there. So that's all I got.
All right. As you guys know that watch the NBA, even if you don't watch the NBA, you probably know LeBron is closing in on the scoring record, just a few games away. I think it's 115 points or something like that. So in honor of LeBron passing Kareem and being the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, what is the best version of LeBron James?
The best version of LeBron James is the 2018 postseason version. He had the most 40-point games, 8. He had 2 buzzer beaters in the playoffs. He also had 51 in Game 1 against the Warriors, the best team ever, and played a perfect game. There was no other version of LeBron that was better. 0.
For me, it's got to be Miami Heat LeBron. It's got to, like, defensively, an absolute menace on the floor. Could guard anybody. Wanted all the smoke. Was a straight villain. Dunked on anybody in sight. I mean, for me, like, at least just being the most fun to watch, the most athletic version of LeBron was the Miami Heat.
I'll
LeBron.
give you athletic, but if you roll back the tape, you remember that dunk over Nurkic that year in 2018?
Yeah, that was
Dude,
okay.
stop that. He was at peak athleticism then too. I don't know how, but something unlocked where he was just stupid athletic that year. He pinned Victor Oladipo against the backboard, which was low-key a goal at the end, but we won't talk about that. And then hit the game winner on the next possession. That version of LeBron was just athleticism, defense, shooting, clutch. I mean, he made 8 fadeaway jumpers against Toronto in a row. I mean, that was the greatest player I've ever seen. I've never
But what about
seen
this?
anything like it.
Okay, what about this? If you could have one player for 1 year at one time, what year? Who is it?
2018 LeBron is the greatest version of any player that's ever existed. Absolutely.
Over Jordan.
Over Jordan. Any version of Jordan, yes.
95, 96 Jordan.
That is the greatest version of any player ever. He had the greatest postseason ever. He had 2 buzzer beaters in the playoffs and 8 40-point games. That's never been done before. Past Iverson in 2001. Nobody is better than that version. I'll give you that Jordan is greater. Fine, can't dispute that. 1A, 1B, 1-2, whatever. But that version of a player with those guys around him, when Kevin Love was injured and his second best player was freaking Jordan Clarkson, who's a 6th man of the year guy now. He's better, but he had literally nobody on that team. He went through it. He was the only player to ever win a series with no guy averaging double-digit points besides him against the Pacers in round 1, and scored 45 in Game 7. There is no version of any player that is better than the 2018 LeBron. 0.
Hope you guys enjoyed episode number 44. It's been a pleasure, guys. With that
Peace
being
out.
said, please go follow us on TikTok
Take
at
that
Good
for
Point Bro,
data.
Instagram at goodpoint.bro, and as you guys know, on YouTube at the Good Point Bro podcast. All right, attaboy, Cammy. You got that one.